All right, Jay and Gia, are you ready? Snuggle in nice and cozy, because tonight we're going on a magical journey with your Abba to a place very, very far away.
Now let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a desert made of ice? I'm not talking about a desert with hot yellow sand, nope. I mean one with cold, sparkling snow that stretches out as far as your eyes can see. Well, guess what? Your Abba has. You see, Abba's ship, the MT Mina, sailed way, way up north, all the way to the very top of the world. And as they sailed, the air got all sharp and clean, and everything smelled brand new. The sea, the sea began to look like it was made of glittering glass. When Abba finally got there, his wise friend Mr. Das smiled at him and said, "Welcome to the desert of ice, cadet. No sand here, only silence." Can you imagine that? A whole world filled with a beautiful, peaceful quiet? Then one morning, a sailor, who was way up high on the mast, shouted, "Something on the ice ahead." Abba ran just as fast as his feet could carry him to the front of the ship to see what it was. And what do you think he saw? It was a mama polar bear and her fluffy little cub just walking right across the ice. The baby bear was so playful, it slipped and, whoops, tumbled right into a soft pile of snow before shaking its little nose and running back to its mama. Abba smiled to himself when he saw that little cub tumble, and he thought, even bears stumble sometimes. It's just a sweet little reminder that it's okay for all of us to make little mistakes, isn't it? Later that night, as Abba stood out on the deck, a really strange and wonderful sound filled the air. It was this deep, low humming sound, almost like the whole world was singing a quiet, secret song. Mr. Das explained it to him. He said, "That is the song of the ice." It was the sound of the giant sheets of ice stretching and cracking, all because the big, powerful sea was moving and breathing right underneath them. And as Abba listened, he had a really important thought. He realized even silence has a voice. You just have to be still enough to hear it. The world is always telling us amazing stories, even when it's quiet. But adventures aren't always easy. The very next day, there was some trouble. The ship's big engine started to groan, and then it coughed and sputtered and stopped. Its pipes had frozen completely solid in the bitter cold. Everybody had to work together super fast. The whole crew, including your Abba, rushed to help. They wrapped the icy pipes to keep them warm and poured hot water over them to melt all the ice until, clunk, the engine roared back to life. Hooray! The ship's captain, he smiled and said something very wise. He said, "The sea gives us beauty and tests, both in the same breath." What he meant was that even when things get a little hard, there's always something beautiful waiting just around the corner. And you know what? The captain was right. That very night, he called everyone out onto the deck for a very special surprise. He just pointed up into the dark sky and said softly, "Look." So Abba looked up and he just gasped. The whole sky was filled with dancing lights. It was something called the Northern Lights, a real, true gift from the Arctic night. He saw these beautiful ribbons of green and purple and a soft, soft pink, all flowing across the dark night sky. They moved so gently and gracefully, like colorful silk scarves dancing in the wind. Abba was so amazed he could only whisper to himself, It's like the sky is painting with magic." It was one of the most beautiful things he had ever seen in his entire life. Later, when he was back in his warm cabin, Abba wanted to remember this special day forever. So he took out his journal to write down everything he had seen and everything he had learned. Let's see what he wrote. It says, "Today I saw the sky dance. I learned that silence isn't empty, it's full of wonder waiting to be heard." He knew now that even in a world made of ice, beauty can burn so, so bright. And that, my dears, is the big lesson from your Abba's amazing adventure. Sometimes the world just asks us to be still for a moment. And when everything around you is quiet, that's the very best time to listen. To really truly listen with your whole heart. Because everything has a story. What stories do you think the wind whispers? Or Or what stories do the stars twinkle about if you listen just closely enough? And always remember what Abba learned on his journey. The brightest, most beautiful lights are often found in the darkest and the coldest of places. Sweet dreams, Jai and Jia.